John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing another head from Australia, and it's another one by Alien Archery. Okay, Alien has been coming out with some really cool heads here recently, and I've got a bunch of them that I'm in the process of testing. I finished one and posted one a while back on the Matrix. It was the Matrix 2BT, and it did very well. That was their double bevel model. But now they've come out with a bunch of single bevel models, and today I'm going to be testing the V2. Okay, this is a really cool single bevel head. So I'm going to zoom on in here, go through some of the design features and specifications, and then put it to the test and see how the V2 performs. Here you get a good look at the V2. It spins very well. And this is a really simple and yet really intriguing design. It's got a full cutting diameter of 1.5 inches. Man, there's not many fixed blade heads that have that big of a cut. And yet it has an overall really short height, giving it a relatively low profile for that big of a cut. The blades are 0.060 inches thick. They're CNC machined stainless steel. The entire head is stainless steel. And the Rockwell hardness of the ferrule and the screw is 48, of the blades is 52, and the weight is 125 grains. So to do all that and still keep it 125 grains is pretty impressive. And I will note too that one of the cool things about the Aliens is all of their heads, I think they have a dozen different models right now. They all are interchangeable within that same ferrule. That's pretty cool. You can see that this is single bevel, and there's just two edges that are sharpened, which are going to make it really easy to resharpen. The back edges are not sharpened, which is going to make it kind of difficult to pull out of a target. But I'm eager to put this thing to the test. I'm going to be testing for edge retention, a couple different tests for penetration, for long distance flight, and for durability. And as always, I'm using my Bowtech SR6 set at 72 pounds, except for the cardboard penetration test. I lower it to 65 pounds because I don't want to blow through all the cardboard and stick it in my wall. And I'm using Bishop FOC King arrows. Let's see how this Alien V2 performs. Yep. This is the test for edge retention, and I'm going to stroke the edge of the blade 2 times with an Easton hex shaft, and after each one, do a push paper test. For each time it continues to cut paper, it'll get 2 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The V2 cut paper after 10 strokes of the arrow. The V2 penetrated 7.5 inches. The Alien V2 cut through 58 layers. The V2 rotated 70 degrees. Here you get a good look at the holes caused by the V2, and they're that classic S-cut of a good single bevel, and man, they are long. That's going to be a difficult hole to close up on an animal. Really nice wound channel. And as for the head itself, it did very well through that steel. I mean, there's a little bit of edge chatter just at the leading edge of each of the bevels, but that would be very easy to sharpen out, and the tip is in perfect condition. Let's check the spin. So it spins very well. Perhaps an ever so slight wobble there. Here's the V2. After being shot into the concrete, you can see it still spins incredibly well. And as for the edges, of course, only the first part penetrated the concrete, but they held up well too. Look at the tip, the very tip. There's no rollover, there's no curl. This could easily be resharpened and used again. So what do you think of the Alien V2? What's not to love about this head? You gotta love the price. You gotta love the flight. You gotta love the penetration. You gotta love the durability. You gotta love that wound channel. Man, 1.5 inch cut and the greatest rotation of any head that I've ever tested. And you gotta love how easy it is to resharpen. This is a winner of a head and it's really worth checking out. Great job, Alien.